Today we live in a very peaceful period of time that allows most of us to freely express ourselves. And there's nothing wrong to step out as a homosexual person in present timeline. Back then in the past,
why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
most culture has a strong opinion on it. Modern days China seems to have a different opinion against the LGBTQ ideology and even has strict laws against it. What if I tell you back then in Asian China, and most part of its history, being a homosexual wasn't really a big of a deal. So today, let's explore what it would be like for a homosexual person travel through different dynasties in Chinese history. Before we start, thanks for your time for watching this. Please do subscribe because I'm a starving YouTuber. While homosexuality includes both male and female, female intimacy was often seen as normal, making it hard to detect. So let's talk about male homosexuality first. According to Professor Li Yinghe, do you know that Asian record about male homosexuality in China dated all the way back to the Shang Dynasty in the 2nd millennium BC? Yep, you heard that right. The first recorded text was found in Shang and Zhou, especially in the records of Shang and Zhou. According to Professor Li Yinghe, the term 乱风 was used to describe homosexuality in the records of Shang. Fast forward to spring and autumn period, and homosexuality was widely accepted. Many of the rulers in that period openly had male concubines. One of the most iconic examples is Duke Ling of Wei Linggong, and his advisor Ming Qing. According to Han Feizi Suonan, picture this: the ruler of Wei, who is known as Duke Ling of Wei. Both of them decided to hang out at a peach farm. Then Mr. Ming Qing was unable to resist the big and juicy peaches dangling from the trees. So he plucked one and took a massive bite. The sweetness overwhelmed him. In a generous gesture, he offered the bitten peach to Duke Ling. Without a second thought, Duke Ling eagerly took a bite. Duke Ling was moved by this gesture and he said, Ming Qing really does care for me. Sharing such a delightful treat, isn't that charming too? This is the origin story of bitten peach, 分桃. Then the phrase bitten peach became a bible for homosexuality. This story is about two dudes on a fishing trip which involved a king and his male lover. The story dated back to the Warring State period and was recorded in 战国策, 魏策, which is also known as Strategies of the Warring State in the section of Wei strategy. The king and Lord Longyang went on a fishing trip. They're both having a good time, catfishing each other. Then suddenly Longyang started to cry. The king was surprised and he wondering why his Xiao Longyang suddenly broke down. Longyang then said,
When I caught my first fish, I was happy. But when I caught a bigger one, I forgot about my first catch.
Then he emphasized to the king one day he might meet someone more beautiful and forgot about him. Touched by this, the king then forbid anyone to mention other beauties in his presence under the penalty of death. So you guys will be wondering, are there any gay emperors? The answer is yes, and the gay culture didn't stop there. Did you know that in Han Dynasty, many emperors were recorded having intimate relationship with their male favorites? It's true, there's even a list for every Han emperors with their special partners. But Emperor Ai of Han stand out from the rest. The story goes by Emperor Ai woke up to find his beloved concubine, Dongxian. Dongxian is a guy, by the way. He was asleep on his sleeve. Instead of waking him up, the emperor simply just cut off his sleeve. This sweet gesture showed how much he cared for Dongxian, and it gave rise to the phrase 断袖之癖. which means the passion of cut sleeve, which become a famous part of Chinese vocabulary for describing gay relationships. So, after the Han Dynasty, the gayness of China reached its peak during the Wei Jing Northern and South period. There's a saying, Southern Dynasty scholar officials could divorce their wife for their boyfriends. Back then, there's a guy named Han Zigao. He is famous for having a charming look, and eventually he was promoted with noble titles and rank, and even promised to be promoted to the title of Empress by Emperor Wen of Chen. But eventually Emperor Wen died. Han Zigao was executed by the next emperor due to his power and influence within the empire. Emperor Wen and Han Zigao's story can be traced back to Chen Shu and Nan Shi. So, how about the queer culture among commoners in Asian China? Yes, it is very common and nothing unusual about it. During the Tang and Song dynasty, it is still widely accepted and reached its peak during the late Ming dynasty and followed by the Qing dynasty. During the Song dynasty, there's a lot of male escort brothels setting up around the empire. Those male escorts will be dressed up like modern day celebrity, walk around the street, and even travel in groups to promote themselves on the street. After the fall of the Song and Yuan dynasty, homosexuality amongst men has reached to a new peak during the Ming dynasty. There is a record stated during the Ming and Qing Dynasty. The man in the Ming state has a unique custom of adopting another male, often a younger male, by paying a certain amount of money to the adoptee's family. According to Shen Defu, in his book 万历野祸编, their relationship will be something like sworn brothers, but they love each other like husband and wife. In the author's records, very often the younger male who get adopted will be called as Qi Di. Meanwhile, the person who pays for the adoption will be referred as Qi Ge. The parents are required to treat the adopted male like their son-in-laws. They are even required to pay for the adopted male marriage ceremony once the adopted male decided to marry a woman. Tu Shen, aka the rabbit deity, was originally a man named Hu Tianbao. He fell in love with a handsome imperial inspector in Fujian province. Then he decided to pit on the inspector in a bathroom and confess his love. As a result, the inspector had him beaten to death. A month later, Hu Tianbao appeared in a dream to a man from his hometown, explaining that the underworld official had made him the guard of protector of homosexual love. The man's shrine to Hu Tianbao became so popular that the Qing government later tried to eradicate it. Female homosexuality existed in Asian China, but it was less documented. Due to the private nature of women's lives and their close bond, it was hard to tell if relationships were platonic or romantic. Scholars believe female homosexuality was probably common and accepted. Homosexuality played a significant role in Chinese history and was generally seen as a moral issue rather than a crime, unlike in medieval Europe. While Asian China was pretty chill about it, modern China hasn't advanced much in this area, lagging behind other regions.